There are plenty of ways to show off your products, collections, and content on your site. But there's one visual element that helps you display them in a customized, cohesive, and eye-catching way. Let's take a look at repeaters. Let's go to Preview, and we'll take a look at the Collections section. Here's a repeater that I made for my e-commerce site, and you can see that each of its elements is formatted the same and has the same hover interaction. I use this to organize my products, but any website can use one of these to organize things like blog posts, events, or services. So in this lesson, I'll show you how to create one yourself. Let's get started. First things first, as I said, a repeater is essentially a list of items that have the same design and layout, but different content in each. And they look great no matter where they're appearing, since they're adaptive to different screen sizes. Let's add a blank section. Perfect. Now we have some space to add our repeater. We'll come down here to Interactive and come to Hover Repeaters. Again, you can see that there are a number of different ones to choose from, but let's take this one. And it's added to the section. Each hover repeater contains a slightly different effect that animates its items when you hover over them, making them stand out even more on your page. And if I want to delete or add more items to this repeater beyond the 3 I can see, I can just do this. Go to Manage Items, click these 3 dots, and I can duplicate or delete. In this case, I'm going to stick with these 3. Now it's time to customize it. So let's say I want this repeater to be about some of the services my shop offers. The first thing I'm going to do is expand this section so that I can add a heading. This is so that my site viewers will know exactly what they're looking at. I'll pull the repeater down, go to the Add panel, and come to Text. From here, I'll choose one of the theme texts. Let's choose Heading 1. Now I'm going to adjust this text to say Services. My services include personal shoppers, monthly memberships, and monogramming. So I already went ahead and edited my content to reflect that. And like all text, I can do things like change the fonts, font sizes, color, spacing, whatever else I need to make it look exactly how I want it to, as you can see here. So this is what my content will look like when it isn't being interacted with. But I want something to change when a visitor hovers their mouse over each of these items. So all I need to do is go to Repeater and come here to Hover. Here you can see that when someone hovers over their mouse, a link appears at the bottom. So I'm going to change this text. So now I've set my content for both when someone is hovering over my repeater and when someone isn't. I can take this even further with another cool trick. I can actually connect one of my content collections to this repeater. To learn all about how to work with the Content Manager and repeaters, we have a full Content Manager course. I'm going to link it in the resources section for you. Then, once I have my content ready, I can move on to design. To make changes to the overall layout of my repeater, I'll highlight the entire thing. I can then click this layout icon. This is where I can change things like how my repeater appears on a page and how much space is between each item. Next, I'm going to add images. Let's take this first repeater. We'll click into Image and go to Change Image. I can choose any of these from my site files. I'm going to quickly change the other images also. So let's add sunglasses here. And let's add some earphones here. I can also change the background color of this box by picking Change Background. And I can choose a solid color, a gradient, or an image, but I'm going to leave mine as is. I can also click on Design here and add a border. Let's take a look. You can see that you can change the color, and you can also adjust the width of the border. On to Hover Interactions. I'll click on Hover again to show what the design will look like when a visitor puts their mouse over these boxes. Okay, let's see what it will look like. It's on shrink mode now, but let's see skew. You can press play here to see that it works. We'll keep this on shrink. Now, under timing, I have control over exactly how this hover interaction plays out. So I think we're at a good place with this repeater. Let's preview it to see how it all looks. You can see that when I hover over any of these, all the changes that we made together will apply. So that about covers repeaters. Throughout this lesson, we worked a bit with interactions and animations, and in the next lesson, we're diving deeper into both of those topics to help you create sites that are eye-catching, engaging, and fun for your visitors to explore. See you there.